They already did it. Someone you trusted, someone you let in, took what you gave them and used it against you. And right now, sitting wherever you are still feeling it. Not just the betrayal itself, the aftermath, that hollow place where trust used to live. That is where we are starting. Here is what nobody is saying out loud. They did not just hurt you, they rewired you. Every time someone betrays you, a partner, a friend, a business partner, your own family, your brain physically changes. The way you read a room, the way you trust, the way you walk into a conversation, they changed all of it. And the question is not whether that is true. It is, changed into what? Nobody tells you this part. When someone betrays you, they are not ending your story. They are accidentally signing the first page of your best chapter. That sounds like a bumper sticker. I know. But stay with me, because by the time this is over, you will not just believe it. You will have proof. And the proof is you. You know exactly what I mean when I say 3 a.m. Not sleep, not rest, just you, ceiling, and the same conversation playing on repeat in your head. You rewind it, you pause it, you find the moment, the exact moment where you should have seen it coming, and then you blame yourself for missing it. Every single night, that loop is not weakness. That is your brain trying to protect you from being ambushed again, but it is eating you alive. And somewhere in that loop, you land on yourself. What did I do wrong? Was I too trusting? Too open? Did I give too much? Was I the problem the whole time? Listen to me very carefully right now. That question, was I the problem, is not humility. It is a trap. Asking it once is reflection. Asking it every night for months is self-destruction wearing the mask of self-improvement. And then there is the part you do not show anyone. You have gotten better at pretending. You go to work. You answer texts. You even laugh sometimes. But there is this background frequency that never shuts off. A low hum of anger and grief that you carry with you into every room, every conversation, every quiet moment between tasks. You are fine in public. You are not fine when no one is looking. And the one question underneath all the others, the one you almost never say out loud, is this: does any of this ever actually get better? Or am I just going to carry this indefinitely, maybe get better at hiding it, but never really put it down? That is the real question. And I am going to give you a real answer, not a comfortable one, a true one. Here is something real. Neuroscientists at UCLA found that social pain, rejection, betrayal, exclusion, activates the exact same regions in the brain as physical pain. Not metaphorically, literally the same neural pathways. Which means, when you say a betrayal hurt you, you are not being dramatic. You are being anatomically accurate. Your brain processed it as an injury because it was one. That same research shows your body holds the experience. The tension in your jaw, the way your shoulders sit permanently near your ears, the sleep that never fully restores you. None of that is random. Your nervous system is still guarding against a threat that has already passed. Your body did not get the memo that the war is over. It is still standing watch, still braced, still waiting for the next hit. And here is what nobody tells you about healing from this kind of thing. It does not move in a straight line. You will have 3 good days and then something, a song, a smell, a phrase someone says that sounds exactly like something they said, will knock you back to square one. That does not mean you are failing. That is just how a real wound heals. Not smoothly, messily, with setbacks, but always, underneath it all, moving forward. So, I want to give you something right now, something almost no one gives, a man who has been betrayed. Permission. Permission to still be angry. Permission to still be hurt. Permission to not have it figured out. Permission to be somewhere in the middle of the hardest thing you have handled without pretending you have handled it already. You do not have to perform recovery for anyone. Now, I want to tell you about a man, not a quote, not a statue, a real man with real power and real pain. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome. For nearly 2 decades, he ruled the greatest empire in human history, and he was betrayed, repeatedly, by people inside his own palace, inside his own family, by a general he considered a brother, by advisors who manipulated his court, by a world that kept demanding more than he had left to give. Avidius Cassius. Remember that name. He was one of Rome's greatest generals. Marcus trusted him with the eastern provinces, enormous territory, enormous power. And when a false rumor spread that Marcus had died, Cassius declared himself emperor, did not wait, did not investigate, just took. Marcus had treated this man like family, and the man he treated like family tried to take everything from him. Here is what Marcus did not do when he found out. He did not erupt. He did not reach immediately for punishment. He did not let fury become policy. He wrote, in private, in the journal that would become Meditations, something remarkable. He asked himself what he actually controlled, not what Cassius had done, not how to retaliate, what he himself controlled. That discipline, right there, is why Marcus Aurelius is still being talked about 2,000 years later. Meditations was never meant for you. It was never meant for anyone. Marcus wrote it to himself, private notes, reminders, instructions for how to stay human under crushing pressure. He wrote it in Greek, so fewer people in his Latin court could read it accidentally. It was his inner discipline made visible. The fact that it survived is almost a miracle. The fact that it still works 2,000 years later is proof of something deeper. And understand this about Marcus. He was not born wise. He was not naturally calm. He was, by his own admission in that journal, prone to irritability, prone to pride, prone to all of the things that betray a man who is trying to be something greater than his instincts. Every entry in Meditations is a man fighting himself and winning, not perfectly, not permanently, but persistently. That is the real lesson. The Stoics built their entire philosophy on one foundational insight. One idea so simple, it sounds almost insulting the first time you hear it. Some things are in your control. Some things are not. That is it. But the depth of that idea, the way it cuts, is not something you understand the first time. It is something that takes a lifetime to actually live. Marcus spent 20 years practicing it and still had to remind himself daily what they did, not yours. Why they did it, not yours. Whether they feel remorse, not yours. What others think about the situation, not yours. Their explanations, their justifications, their narrative about what happened, none of it is yours to control. And here is the brutal gift of that. If you cannot control it, you do not have to carry it. You have been hauling weight that was never yours to begin with. What you do control is different. What you do with the anger, that is yours. How you use this period to build something, that is yours. Who you choose to become on the other side of this, entirely yours. How you treat people going forward, yours. What you build in the silence they created, completely, absolutely, irrevocably yours. They handed you a burning building. What you build on the cleared land, that is your life now. The Stoics had a phrase for this. Amor fati. Love your fate. Not tolerate it. Not accept it grudgingly. Love it, including the parts that destroyed you. Marcus did not teach this as spiritual bypassing. He taught it as a weaponized mindset. When you stop fighting what already happened and start using it, you become something the person who betrayed you never anticipated. You become dangerous, not to them. To your own former limitations, iron becomes steel only under extreme heat. There is no shortcut. There is no gentle version of that transformation. You either go through the fire or you remain iron, useful, but brittle. The people who betray you are, without knowing it, the furnace. They apply the heat. You are the one who decides whether you come out tempered or destroyed. They provide the fire. You control what you are made of. I know exactly what is happening in your head right now. You are thinking, that sounds good. That sounds true. But you do not know my situation. You do not know how deep this one went. You do not know who this person was to me, or how long I trusted them, or how completely they dismantled something I spent years building. And you are right. I do not know the details, but I know the weight of it, and I know it is real. Here is what I'm not going to do. I am not going to tell you everything happens for a reason. I'm not going to tell you to just forgive and move on, or that you need to be grateful for the lesson. That kind of talk is not wisdom. It is emotional cowardice dressed up as insight. What happened to you was not okay. It was not deserved. Acknowledgement of that is not weakness. It is the beginning of honest recovery. Your anger is not a problem to be managed. It is information. It is your value system telling you exactly what mattered, what was violated, and what you will not accept again. The Stoics did not say suppress your anger. They said use it deliberately, channel it, Every ounce of that energy you spend seething about what happened could be redirected. Not as denial, as fuel. There is a difference, and the difference is your future. And underneath the anger is grief, real loss. Because it was not just a person you lost. You lost the version of reality you believed in. The story you told yourself about that relationship, about what was real and what was not. You are grieving a version of the world. That is profound. That deserves to be named, not performed, not dramatized, just named clearly with eyes open. That is what happened. That is what you are carrying. And here is the thing about grief. It is only possible when something mattered. You cannot grieve what was nothing to you. So the fact that this level of pain exists, that 3 a.m. loop, that hollow feeling, that low hum that will not stop, is actually proof that you were genuinely invested, that you gave something real, that you are someone capable of real depth. The same capacity that got you hurt is the one that will rebuild you. It does not go away. It transforms. Now, this is the part I need you to actually stop and hear. Because I'm going to reframe your entire betrayal, not to minimize it, not to excuse it, but to show you something that you cannot unsee once you see it. The person who betrayed you did not take something from you. They removed something from you. And there is a difference. A devastating, liberating, life-changing difference. They removed the version of you that needed their approval. They removed the dependency you had on their validation. They removed the ceiling that existed because of your proximity to someone who was never actually for you. They removed the comfortable, small life that would have stayed comfortable and small. Comfort that keeps you small is not a gift. Being removed from it, no matter how violently, is the beginning of scale, of real size. Think about this carefully. Some of the most relentlessly driven men in history were not motivated by vision or ambition first. They were motivated by pain first. They were kicked out of what was comfortable, fired, abandoned, humiliated, cut off. And they built empires in the ruins because they had nothing left to protect and nothing left to lose. The kick started the engine, not the plan, the pain. And I will tell you something else. You were too loyal, too consistent, too willing to hold the thing together when you should have let it fall. You spent energy maintaining what they should have been maintaining. You were the one working on the relationship when they had already left it. Your loyalty, which is a strength, was deployed in the wrong direction for too long. Now that loyalty has nowhere to go but forward, into you. So here is the revelation. The thing I want you to sit with. They did not destroy you. They promoted you out of a level you had outgrown, out of relationships that were keeping you manageable, out of a version of yourself that was comfortable enough to stay still. Every betrayal is a forced promotion to a harder, realer, stronger version of your life. You just could not see the new position yet because you were too busy looking at what you lost. Marcus Aurelius had a practice before responding to anything: betrayal, crisis, insult, war. He audited his own mind. He called it examining the impression. Before acting on a feeling, he looked at it directly and asked, what is this actually? Not what do I think it is? What is it actually? Tonight, not someday, tonight, I want you to do one thing. Write down what you actually lost, not what you feel. What you actually, specifically, concretely lost. Be a journalist, not a victim. You will find something on that list. Some things on it are losses, real losses. Acknowledge them completely. Time, trust, sometimes money, sometimes your sense of safety. But some things on that list are actually freedoms. That relationship that required you to shrink. That partnership that demanded your silence. That friendship where you were always the one showing up. When you see it clearly, really clearly, the ratio shifts. More freed than lost. Different from how it feels. Step 2 is harder, and it requires honesty. Every hour you spend thinking about them, what they are doing, whether they feel guilty, whether they got what they deserved, is an hour you are spending your limited, irreplaceable life on someone who is not spending theirs on you. Marcus wrote, "Do not waste what remains of your life thinking about other people." He meant it as a discipline, not a dismissal. The redirected hour belongs to you now. This is what the redirect actually looks like. Pick one thing, one skill, one project, one area of your life, and give the anger hour to that instead. Not as a distraction, as an investment. Not to forget, to build. Every time the loop starts, you redirect it to the work, the workout, the business, the craft, the thing that will still exist in 5 years. Eventually the loop gets shorter because the work gets louder. You starve the obsession. You feed the momentum. Step 3 is the one most people never get to, and it is the only one that makes the other two permanent. You have to decide who you are now, not who you were before this happened. Not the version of you that existed in that relationship, or that job, or that circle. Who are you, specifically, on the other side of this? Because if you do not answer that question deliberately and clearly, the betrayal will answer it for you. And you will not like the answer it gives. So write it down, not aspirationally, descriptively, as if you are already there. Not, I want to be someone who does not need their approval. Instead, I am someone who builds regardless. Not, I am trying to trust again. Instead, I extend trust deliberately and withdraw it without apology when it is violated. Small shift in language, enormous shift in architecture. You are not recovering. You are becoming. Choose who that is. Write it in the present tense and read it every single morning. Let me tell you about Epictetus. He was born a slave, not metaphorically, literally enslaved. His master, knowing he was studying philosophy, broke his leg deliberately to test his reaction. Epictetus did not scream, did not beg. He said, I told you it would break. When freed, he built one of the most influential schools of thought in history. His betrayal, the systematic theft of his freedom from birth, became the furnace that forged everything he taught. He is still teaching. Seneca, advisor to an emperor, falsely accused, exiled to an island for 8 years, stripped of everything he had built. In exile, he wrote letters, he wrote essays, he wrote more in exile than most men write in a lifetime of comfort. The man who exiled him, Claudius, is remembered as a footnote. Seneca is read daily, 2,000 years later. The exile made Seneca. The man who ordered it made himself a ghost. There is a man. You probably know someone like him. His marriage of 12 years ended when his wife left for a man he considered a friend. He lost the house, the custody schedule hurt him, his social circle dissolved because people chose sides. He spent 6 months barely functional. Then he spent 3 years building a business so focused, so relentless, so fueled by that pain, that today he employs 40 people. The betrayal was the business plan. He just did not know it yet. Julius Caesar, before you dismiss this as ancient history, understood betrayal at the most intimate level. Years before the Senate, he was betrayed by allies who undermined him politically, financially, repeatedly. Each betrayal sent him further from the center of Roman power, and further from the center sent him to the edges, where armies were, where real loyalty lived, where real strength was forged. They kept pushing him out. He kept building something bigger in the exile. Do you see the pattern yet? Every single one of these men, separated by centuries, by culture, by circumstance, experienced the same fundamental sequence. They were betrayed. They were displaced. They built something greater in the displacement, not because they were special, not because they had some talent you lack, because they pointed their pain in a direction and kept walking. That is the entire formula. Pain plus direction plus time. That is all. I want to talk about what actually changes inside you, not conceptually, physically, because there is a moment, and if you have been doing the work, you know exactly what I mean, where the anger stops feeling hot and starts feeling cold, clean, directed. That is the transition. Hot anger burns you. Cold clarity cuts forward. You are not trying to get even anymore. You are not even thinking about them the same way. Something inside shifts, and when it does, you are already past them, because here is what you are becoming. You are becoming someone who knows what loyalty actually costs. Someone who knows what it feels like to be genuinely alone inside a room full of people and survived it. You are becoming someone who does not stay in rooms that require you to be smaller than you are. You are becoming someone that very few people know how to be. Not because you wanted to be, because you had to be. And that necessity is iron in the spine. There is a kind of power that only comes from having been through something real and not broken. Not because you are invincible. You are not. Because you know what breaking feels like, and you know that you are still here. That knowledge, that specific kind of knowledge, cannot be performed. It cannot be bought. It cannot be given. It is only earned by actually going through it. You are earning it right now. Every day that you show up, still intact, you are earning it. Marcus Aurelius died on campaign, not in his palace, not surrounded by comfort, at the front of the march, doing the work until the end. And historians who studied his final years noted something. He became quieter, not weaker, quieter. The man who had been betrayed by allies, abandoned by some who should have stayed, crushed by the weight of empire, became still. Not because the pain disappeared, because it no longer owned him. He owned it. There will be a moment, and you cannot schedule it. You cannot force it, where everything they put you through will suddenly make complete sense. Not because it was justified, not because they deserved forgiveness, because you will look at who you became, what you built, how you move, what you know, how you see people now, and you will realize you could not have been this person if it had not happened. And in that moment, you will not hate them. You will not thank them either. You will simply be free. Look at you right now. You sat through this whole thing. You did not scroll away. You did not dismiss it when it got uncomfortable. You stayed because some part of you already knows. You are not the person you were before this happened. You are harder in the right places, softer in the ones that matter, more precise about who you let in, more deliberate about what you build. You are not broken. You are broken in. And there is a profound difference. The people who were meant to keep you small accidentally taught you to take up space. If any part of this hit differently than you expected, if something shifted even slightly, you already know what to do. You do not need me to tell you. That thing you are thinking about right now, that next step, that thing you have been putting off, that version of yourself you keep postponing, that is the work, not someday, not when you feel ready. Now, because you are already more ready than you think. You have been proving that for a while. Time to act like it.